guys, Avery, come from the hood. Here talk sports like you know he would. Loves the Packers, hates the Pats. Hey, you might even see Bill the Cat. Yo, now welcome back. That's his catchphrase, Man in Black. His name is Avery, he's no Joe Blow. Here he comes, now enjoy the show.
Yo, Earthlings, what is up? Avery Sports Show, episode number 206, coming at you live from Toronto, Ontario once again. Fantastic stuff here in the studios. My name is Avery, if you do not already know. Avery Sports Show, livestream.com/Avery Sports. Want to call to the program, number to call, 780-6, forget my own digits, 780-628-1771, extension code 260, or email the show at fightingpike1hotmail.com. Join the livestream.com chat. I'm in there. Casper the Friendly Ghost, he's in there from time to time, kicking it. It's a blast. Hit me up on Twitter at Avry. So many ways to interact and be a part of the show this week. Talking some NFL preseason action, CFL stuff. For the season week 9 action. The Little League World Series. Unfortunately, Canada is out once again in the first round. The team from East Hastings, BC, though, gritty team. They're with the bat, though. Very defensively, though. But Curacao was too much for them in the must-win elimination game as they lost 4-3 to the team from the Caribbean. Fantastic stuff here as always on the program. Of course, best of the best. Story of the week. That'll be coming at you as per usual. Major League Baseball, the wild card race. The wild card race in the National League is interesting as heck. Pittsburgh, Atlanta, the Giants. Whoo, my goodness. The Cardinals. What a logjam right now. First of all, not many people, as per usual, thought you would get Pittsburgh back in this situation again. They're even better than they were last year. I think the Pirates' run of being a bad baseball club, I said it before, is finally done. Raise the roof for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Mediocrity is over. Yay! Andrew McCutchen, what a beast for this ball club. The Pirates, hey, I may see a Pirates baseball game, playoff game, in my lifetime. Remember, the last time they made the postseason was 1992, and they haven't had a winning season since. That, I think, is going to be over, finally, for this baseball team. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff for the program. Anyway, folks, much more to come. We're going to take our first music commercial break of the night. Avery Sports Show. We'll be right back. You better stay tuned. I will throw a live cow through your living room window. Booyah! Yo, gang, we are back. Avery Sports Show. Livestream.com/Avery Sports. Call into the program. 780-628-1771. Extension code 260. Episode number 206 back in Toronto. I know I mentioned before the break the MLB wildcard standings, and things are just getting tighter than a rattlesnake in a washing machine. I mean, let's have a look right now. Wildcard standings. Atlanta on top of the wildcard, 1752. Pittsburgh not far behind. They got the LA Dodgers, St. Louis, and even Arizona. They're 62 and 60, but don't count them out yet. Still plenty of baseball left to be played. Arizona has a shot, I do think, at making up some ground. It would be very impressive to see if Arizona could sneak in the back door and get that last wildcard spot. Of course, if you don't know how the new wildcard thing works in the MLB, top 2 wildcard teams in each league make the playoffs and play each other in a one-game playoff before moving on. I love it. I like seeing more teams included. I mentioned it before. I love that fact. Hey, I like the one-game playoff in baseball. I like that. The you win or you go home factor makes it that much more important. I love that. I mean, Atlanta, it would be cool to see Atlanta make the playoffs and let Chipper Jones play in the postseason one more time before he calls it a career. He's been playing great as of late. I know they did lose to Washington, though, and even the Washington Nationals. Who thought Washington would be 76 and 46 right now, leading the National League East? Who thought that would happen? No one. The Nationals, the franchise, we said it before, the Nats, the franchise as a whole, going back to the days as the Montreal Expos, haven't been to the playoffs since 1981. That's insanity. So they could make it. That would be huge for a baseball team, for a baseball market that starts for the postseason. And I mean, so many great players on that team. You got Bryce Harper, Steven Strasburg. Although the fact that the Nationals say, we're going to shut him down, when he reaches his inning count, I say is stupid, 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 stupid. It is for any other sport. It's been said before. Basketball. Oh, when LeBron James reaches 60 games, we're gonna shut him down because he came back from injury. It'd be mouth outcry in the streets. But baseball, for some reason, they're able to say he has an innings count. He reaches that mark. He can't pitch anymore for the rest of the year. It's silly because I said it already. They're gonna be in the playoffs for the first time in over 30 years. No, did we lose the signal here? Oh no, sorry, screen just turned off. And we're back anyway then. How in the world do you say that? You have to reconsider. I think the national players and the manager are going to say, listen, we're going to be a playoff team. We need our ace. We cannot have him sitting on the bench and watch ourselves get swept in 3 games. It can't happen. I think the Nationals front office needs to reconsider that decision and let Strasburg pitch in the playoffs. They have to. You need your ace guy. You need your ace arm on the mound. Yes, come back from tummy surgery, but Tommy John makes your arm stronger. We don't know. We still don't know how far Tommy John surgery lets your arm go. We still don't know limitations on Tommy John surgery, even though it's been done countless amount of times on countless amount of players. Even Tommy John himself, the pitcher with the Dodgers, who had it in the 70s, hence why it's named after Tommy John. He was the first ever pitcher to get this kind of surgery where they replace the ligament in your elbow to make your throwing arm stronger. Even he's saying it's stupid for Nationals to have him on an inning count. You know what would make more sense? I've heard before. Why don't each time he has a start, why he's not on a pitch count instead of an inning count? It would make more sense to me. You say, Steven, okay, you reach 90 pitches and then you get pulled. Not 160 innings and you're done for the year. No, each start would make more sense. More scent. Yes, more Febreze scent on the mound. He throws more orange. This should be a innings or something. What's what I'm trying to say? Pitch count. Steven, like I said, you hit 90 pitches, then you're done. In each of your start. Would make a heck of a lot more sense, and you'd have them around for October baseball. Would make way more sense. Yeah, but that's my 2 cents. Of course, got Cincinnati leading their division. Although, what can I say about the Cincinnati Reds? Jay Bruce, Joey Votto, that's a team that, for a lot of years, they were not great. They had their slump. They had me in the playoffs in 95. And now they're back in the playoffs again, 2 years in a row. Dusty Baker's crew, impressing a lot of people. Dusty Baker's bunch, 74 and 49, impressing a lot of people. They're a well-oiled machine. And Joey Votto, the pride of Etobicoke, Ontario. Have yourself a swinging battle, son. Because all this guy does is hit home runs and lead the Reds to wins. It's impressive. It is very impressive. Although, I'll say it again, my World Series prediction was doo-doo. I had the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, of Green Bay, of Saskamoose, of Tonka Trucks against the Miami Marlins. I figured Miami would be invigorated with Heath Bell, you got Ozzie Guillen in his team. You thought you had so many good bats coming in. You had Giancarlo Stanton. You had Mike Stanton. You had the power. You had the pitching in Miami. So what happened? Things fell apart so fast. They had a fire sale. They got rid of Hanley Ramirez. Ozzie Guillen's even more mad. Didn't know that was possible. And the Marlins are well below 500. They're out of it. It's a shame because my prediction on that front went on the toilet. But the Angels, though, they're still in the thick of things. You got Mike Trout, Mark Trumbull, Albert Pujols. The Angels, that half of my prediction could work out. I really do hope that works out because to be that far off on a prediction for the World Series would suck big time. It really would not look good at all if I am out in left field of my predictions when the predictions are all the way out in right field. We got a chat room in action here. Call of Dowdy, nice name, Call of Dowdy. That'd be a great fantasy hockey name. He's blaming all of his baseball fantasy failures on Melky Cabrera. Melky Cabrera, and I talked about this on Blog Talk Radio with Mike Wilson a few nights ago about the suspension because the Giants playoff chances now went from a sure thing to hitting rough waters with Cabrera suspended for taking performance-enhancing drugs. He's now gone for 50 games. And the funny thing about Cabrera is that a fake website was created to help cover up the fact that he was taking. They're trying to help cover up the fact that he was on drugs. To make a website that was hiding drug use, you basically you're trying to lie to the public through a fake website. You help create that no, I'm clean. That in itself should get more punishment. And the MLB has already said he may get more punishment for making a fake website to help hide the steroid use or performance enhancing drug use. Silly, Melky. So silly. You may have really just harmed your team big time. You may have just hurt your team's playoff chances entirely. Such a silly thing to do, Melky Cabrera. Really is an odd situation right there with the Giants. Really is incredibly. Of course, Call of Duty was saying, he's doing all of his playoff, his fantasy failures on Cabrera. The amount of people who had him in their fantasy pools are now getting rid of him like a hamburger from Burger King sitting in the sun for 19 hours. You just don't want that anymore. What an odd situation. Much more to come on Avry Sports Show, the webcast, on livestream.com/Avry Sports. Go get a drink of water, go use the bathroom, but you better return.
You're watching Avry Sports Show on livestream.com.
And we are back. Avry Sports Show, webcast, livestream.com/Avry Sports. Call into the program. Number to call 780-628-1771. Extension code 260. Or email the show at fightingpike1@hotmail.com. Or join the livestream.com chat. Have a ball. I know we got some action in the chat room bullpen right now. We're getting the viewers coming on up and in. All right. Fantastic stuff as we are in the Medusa showroom. Fantastic stuff here in Toronto, Ontario. Nice and warm, it's not, oh my gosh, I'm gonna melt into a popsicle hot. It's not that hot like it was when I was here last time. But you know what, it's nice 22, 23 degrees over here. Fantastic stuff. Anyway, I guess this is gonna be the baseball show this week. Mr. Roger Clemens, the Rocket, is coming back to baseball in an indie league, pitching for a team out of Houston called the Sugarland Skeeters. What's a skeeter? It's a slang term for a mosquito. I honestly don't know what to say about it. I honestly don't know how I should feel. Should I embrace Roger Clemens making a comeback to baseball, or should I jeer it? I don't know, because I like comebacks, but it's just so odd. It's so random because 1, he's 50. 2, he hasn't pitched since 2007, period. He hasn't pitched since 07, when he was 45. So this layoff, and your body being already advanced. The thing is though, Roger Clemens, he knows how to pitch. Like, you'll never lose, you'll never forget how to pitch. He knows the mechanics. I heard that Roger Clemens, the scout said that his fastball was on a radar gun, came in at 87 miles an hour. Still, for a guy at 50, if your fastball is still reaching the mid-80s or high 80s, that's good. That's impressive. I'll see that though. For not pitching for 4 years and your fastball still in the high 80s, it's not bad at all. And now Vintage Vic Michaels is in the chat room. While you're in Toronto, tell everyone there, the sports teams suck. Hey, the Toronto Rock are always a great lacrosse team. And the Argonauts are doing pretty okay. And the Argonauts with Ricky Ray and company are doing pretty well, so things are changing over here, Vic. I do think the sports teams here, the landscape is changing. Things are getting to be a little bit better. The era, just like the era of the Pittsburgh Pirates being a bad baseball team is coming to a close, the era of a horrible Toronto sports franchise, I think, is coming to a close very soon. I think that's going to change very soon around here, Vic. Call me crazy, call me maybe, you never know. I think things are going to change here in Toronto. I do think things are going to change for the better for the sports teams here. Really going to change. I do think so. If you don't think that, well, hey, call in, Vic. Why don't you call the show tonight, Vic? 780-628-1771, extension code 260. How about the Cleveland Browns? Will their luck change? Now, let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy now, Vic. The Cleveland Browns are still a mess. That team's still a mess. Trent Richardson cannot do everything for that football team. And Brandon Whedon, yeah, good luck. Good luck, Brandon Whedon and Colt McCoy, because you guys are going to need it. I mean, that Cleveland Browns team, I just don't know. They're in the division they're in. It's smash mouth football. Can Cleveland smash back with Pittsburgh and company? I don't think so. I don't know. The whole AFC may just trample on the ground. We may just see pure trampling of the Cleveland Browns like this every single game. It may happen. I hope it doesn't, but the odds of it happening are very good for this football club. It's just gonna be tough to see the Cleveland Browns get 6 or 7 wins. Maybe 5, 6 or 7. Highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely to see Cleveland as a 6 or 7 win ball club. I just do not see that happening. Call of Duty. Aki Berg, the legend in NHL 13. Aki Berg. When we bring in, who's the 90s Leafs we could use in that game, or early 2000s Leafs? Why don't they put in Darcy Tucker and Jerry Roberts and Felix Potvin in the game too? Put all the late 90s, early 2000s Leafs in the game. Put them all in. That'd be funny to see. Put them all in the game. Put in Danny Markov. Let's put Danny Markov in NHL 13. That'd be great for the kids. Danny Markov. With the old salute to Yager after they knocked out the Penguins. I remember that. Markov mad as hell saluting Yager. He hate that salute. That was funny. That was funny as heck. Oh boy, I see oh, come on. Call of Duty saying the Chicago Bears are coming for us. Who's the quarterback again? Mr. Jay Cutler. End of story. 5-11. Have fun. Everybody's saying the Bears are going to shock people. They'll shock me if they get more than 4 wins this year. Jay Cutler. Remember, this is a guy who was sacked 9 times in one game against the Giants. Sorry, not one game. 1 half. He got sacked 9 times in the first 2 quarters. His offensive line was a plank of wood and a wet rigatoni noodle. That's the offensive line in Chicago. Cutler ate more turf than a rabbit who got kicked in the face by a bear. Pardon the pun. I mean, it's just so silly to think that the Chicago Bears are going to be a contender. Of what? You got Green Bay still in there, gonna run it down their throats. You still have the Giants. You still got New Orleans. Yes, even New Orleans, with everybody suspended, will do a heck of a lot better than the Chicago Bears with Michael Bush. It's so silly. It's just too funny. It is just too funny to think how everybody's saying, oh, the Bears are back. The Bears are back. They gotta make some noise. They gotta make the playoffs. Please. This team's gonna be done by week 9. Chicago. Get the heck out of here. The Chicago Bears making the playoffs. I needed a good joke. I needed a good laugh today. And the Chicago Bears making the playoffs is a funny joke. That is too funny. Chicago Bears in the postseason. Anyway, folks, want to call in 780-628-1771, extension code 260. Email the show at fightingpike1hotmail.com or join the livestream.com chat if you're watching the show. As you can see, the chat room is bumping right now. Getting that crunk on up in there. Anyway, folks, get another commercial break and be right back with much more Avry Sports Show. Talk some CFL. We'll talk some CFL about the debut of Corey Boyd as an Edmonton Eskimo. And Michael Phelps to be stripped of his medals for wearing Louis Vuitton. I'm gonna get to this stupid story after the break. Stay tuned. And we are back as the inmates run the asylum. Avry Sports Show, livestream.com/Avry Sports. Call into the program. Number to call 780-628. Was that 1771? Extension code 260. Football time talking Corey Boyd. The shocking release of the Argonauts, the CFL's leading rusher, last week. I saw this come across the ticker on Sports and I said, what? Corey Boyd of the Argonauts released? Leads the CFL in rushing. Immediately I knew, okay, he wasn't released because the performance clearly wasn't that. It had to be something else, which led to him getting cut by the Argos. And then to see Edmonton brought him in. To me, that was impressive because, one, yes, you have Hugh Charles and Cal McCarty. But Hugh Charles, smaller back, great speed back. Cal McCarty, all power. You bring in Corey Boyd. I said it with Jason Greger. Because the funny thing was, I talked to Greger about this last week, and the signing happened during our interview, so he didn't know, nor did I know. Jason Greger was saying that you bring in Corey Boyd, he's the true prototypical quarterback. Running back. He's big. He can run over people. He can run past people. He can catch. I like seeing him and Hugh Charles in the backfield. They didn't have him playing very much in a game against Montreal. Only had about 10, 15 snaps. Ran for about 5 yards. I was expecting first play from center. There goes Boyd! 90-yard rush! Lord have mercy! I didn't expect that. No. I did not expect that at all first pick. But I knew there'd be a point in which, he has to adjust to his new club. And now game 2, funny enough, going back to Toronto for second game as an Eskimo in Toronto against the Argonauts. Should be interesting now. He's had a bit more time to get used to the offense Karis Reed, Marcus Crandell have in store for him. Should be really interesting, and it should really be a good attended game, because Argonaut games, for years and years and years, the big story has been that Argonaut games can't sell out. They don't sell out. I guess Skydome, it's big, but back in even just 10 years ago, you had the Skydome sold out for Argonaut games, and there's been a dip ever since the attendance. Because the Skydome is huge. And you're only getting 17, 18, 19, 20,000 Argonaut games. Pathetic. Corey Boyd returning to Toronto now in Eskimos green and yellow. That should be interesting to see. Should definitely be interesting to see him in green and gold now. And getting used to Steven Giles and company as an Eskimo. That'll be interesting. But I give Toronto credit though. Chad Cackert has been fantastic in his new starting role as the Argonauts' main running back. He stepped up big time. He's played well for them as the Argos are still a good team. They're in that log-jam in Eastern Division with Montreal, Hamilton. That is really interesting now to see how the Argonauts respond with Cackert once again as starting running back. I know they played well against Calgary. Played well against Stampeders in their win on the road. It should be a game to watch. It'll be a fantastic game. It should be definitely a great ball game to watch for the Eskimos and for the Argonauts. Because remember, the Eskimos are coming off a shellacking at home to the Owls. And to me, in my mind, it was unacceptable. Many of us said it was unacceptable because, yes, it's Montreal. Yes, it's Anthony Calvillo. Remember, so many key cogs in the Alouettes offense were hurt. Didn't even make the trip to Edmonton. And yet, Anthony Calvillo still threw 4 touchdown passes. He was still the good old Canadian gunslinger once again. And the Eskimos, where was the rush? Where was the heat on Calvillo? They needed to make him feel like he was standing in the middle of open fire with somebody making flambe. And instead, he probably just felt like he was in the middle of Horlock Park with his kids throwing the ball around. It was way too easy for Anthony Calvillo. Way too easy. You could watch the game highlights and you can count 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, throw. No pressure. Calvillo didn't even have to really do much out of the pocket. He was never really chased out of the pocket. And that's a problem. We got a guy like that who can just pick and choose who he wants to throw to all day long and pick you apart, and you don't bring any heat or very little heat on him, you can't win. You won't win. And the Eskimos did not win, as they lost 30-25. And you know what? That score flattered the Eskimos, because at one point they were down 28-1. Bad effort. Bad effort. Especially at home. You gotta protect your home, especially Commonwealth Stadium, a place that teams used to fear coming to Edmonton. And have Montreal just come in, basically, it is the equivalent of some weirdo coming into your house, wiping his feet on your carpet with muddy shoes, eating all your food, drinking your juice, belching in your face, watching your TV, and then slamming the door while he laughs. That's what the equivalent was. That's what the equivalent was of this Alouette Eskimos game. And it has to change on the road in Toronto. The Eskimos now have to do the exact same thing to Toronto. And with 2 belches in their face. Avery Sports Show. Much more to come on the program. Michael Phelps Talk. story of the week. This is Avry Sports Show on livestream.com/Avry Sports. Stay tuned for much more. Avry. Back, Avry Sports Show webcast, livestream.com/Avry Sports. Want to call into the program? Number to call 780-628-1771. Extension code 260. And Mr. Dan Shirley is joining the chat room live from Pullman, Washington. What's going on, sir? The resident Seattle Sounders in one National Lacrosse League head for the good old-fashioned Washington still. Yes, Randy Moss came back. Randy Moss in the 49ers. That's going to be interesting to see Randy Moss in the 49er. That is going to be interesting to see how Randall Gene Moss plays. I want to see how it's going to shape up Randy playing in San Fran. I think his mind is clear again. 1 year retirement, I think he's going to be good. I think Randy's going to play well with Alex Smith. I think that's going to be an interesting combination. Although I doubt Randy. Although one thing Randy does though, if Randy does this in San Fran, if he does that, you know Joe Buck will say immediately, that is a disgusting act on the part of Randy Moss. You know if he tries that again, you're going to get Joe Buck on fire and absolutely livid. That's what you're going to get. Actually, last time I talked to Dan though, actually, you know what, Dan? I think people on the show don't know is that, remember the Canada-USA soccer match? Dan was busy beaking me about that match. Because Dan was saying, oh, yeah, there goes the USA chants again. Dan was saying, you know what, usually when Canada loses, I feel bad for them. And Dan, what do you say? But this time, I don't feel bad at all. So naturally, I had to defend my nation against Mr. Shirley. This guy basically just rubbing it in on us. I threatened to throw Dan into an ocean for his gloating. And then Dan goes in and says, I said I'm going to come to Seattle and take care of you, Dan. And what does Dan say? What is this Goobak saying? He says, oh, you're immigrating to a better nation. USA. Well, hey, Dan. 2015 World Cup, Dan. You're coming here. You're playing on our soil. Don't expect a chance to the gold medal game. Don't expect that. Don't expect it to happen when the Women's World Cup is here in Canada, Dan. Don't expect that to happen. Because I know now, Christine Sinclair, the way the fact that she just got the Hope Solo early and often just had me cheering. I jumped out of my chair. I almost cracked my head on the roof and started leaking maple syrup out of my nose. That was a semi-final game for the ages. Although I will say this though, Alex Morgan, I give her credit though. The way that I said it before, the way Alex Morgan got into the box, no one had her covered. No one had Alex Morgan covered. Fantastic header to beat Aaron McLeod to get the win in stoppage shot in extra time. Because I was hoping. Hold on for penalty kicks. Hold on for penalties. And there's Alex Morgan with the flying header to win it. That was tough. That was tough to watch. That was tough. But getting back to Vic though and Mr. Randy Moss. You know what? The Randy Moss, like I was saying though, watching Moss play in San Fran, you could get the Randy Moss that'll haul in 70 balls and just put on an absolute show. But if things don't go right for him, you'll get the Randy Moss of old, who can be a pain, who can be annoying. If that Randy Moss is kept out of the Niners locker room, San Fran will easily win the NFC West once again. That team will be dangerous. So dangerous. Sorry, Dan. Your Seahawks going to have a tough time this year in the NFC West once again. Even though I love Matt Flynn, it's going to be rough for Matt. It's going to be hard for Matt Flynn in the NFC West this year. But then again, in the NFC West, you go 7-9, you could have shot the playoffs the way that division works out so many years in a row. You don't know what can happen. You don't know what can happen with the NFC West. Such a silly little division. It is so silly. But now, and of course now for next year in 2013 National Lacrosse League, who knows? Good chance might not be here. I might not be in Edmonton for 2013 National Lacrosse League. I could be in a different National Lacrosse League city covering that team. Mike Wilson knows. So, you never know. You might see me at a different stadium covering National Lacrosse League in 2013. May not be Edmonton. May not be Edmonton Rush. Could be on the move next year for National Lacrosse League in 2013. Which team? You'll find out soon. Which city? You'll find out soon. That'll be interesting. That'll be very interesting. That'll be incredibly interesting. Russ Wilson. I like Russell Wilson though. The dude's got legs. Dude can run. He's got speed to burn Russell Wilson. And of course, Seattle though. Mr. Terrell Owens. Get your popcorn ready. Get your popcorn ready. You know what makes me mad? I'm mad there's no more Frazier. Because you know you could have had Frazier Crane on and Terrell Owens. You could have Terrell kicking down Frazier Crane's door. So get your popcorn ready. Get your popcorn ready, Frazier. But no. That'll be interesting. And of course, T.O. But they always say, you know, it's bad luck when you change your jersey number. T.O. No more number 80, of course, because of the legendary Steve Largent. T.O. is now number 10 in Seattle. Really interesting to see how he'll work out. And some people say that the Seahawks jerseys now, a lot of people don't like the Seahawks jerseys, say they're too video game-ish. I like the Seahawks jerseys though. They're slick. I like that futuristic Seahawks look. I like it. I love the new Seahawks jerseys though. They look cool. And the new logo, you made the Seahawks bird look even meaner by adding silver to him. He looks even meaner. I like that. Because for years, if you know the original Seahawks logo, it's a generic hawk with a straight face. And in about 2002, when the Seahawks moved from the AFC to the NFC, they made the bird mean. And I like it. I like that logo. I like the look. Well, there's two teams that got logo overhauls. The overall updates. The Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers. I like the Panthers' new look. I like the Panthers. They made the Panther a bit more fierce. That's fantastic stuff. That's always been the big thing though in National Football League. To make the mascot look meaner. It's always been the case. If your mascot is an animal, you want to make him look more mean. Like he's gonna peck your arms off. It's always been the trend. Although one team I think will get that needs an update very soon, the Jacksonville Jaguars. That needs an update. Hey, maybe they could go back to their original logo if Jaguar won't sue them for copyright infringement. That's if you remember. If you never seen the original Jacksonville Jaguars logo, it was an actual full Jaguar with but it didn't have eyes though. It was like a Jaguar outline, and that was supposed to be the Jacksonville Jaguars logo. It was all a go. They had cool jerseys until Jaguar said, "Hey, rip off artists." So that's when they came up with the Jacksonville Jaguar head-only logo. I didn't post it on Twitter, the original Jaguars logo. It looked cool, but they had to nix it in '94 because they're going to get sued. Anyway, though, fantastic stuff. I'll wrap things up, though. Let's do Story of the Week. You can find it right here. Story of the Week from KTLA. KTLA always has nut stuff. I don't know why LA is so insane for their news. I just don't get it. Every week, something nuts happens in the City of Angels. I just don't get what's up with Los Angeles someday. You know, I want to live there one day, but dang, stuff is just insane. I mean, let's see here. I'm trying to see one of the stories here. I mean, my gosh, another insane story from KTLA. Motorcyclist, actually, it's KTLA using a story from China. Motorcyclist survives metal bar impaled through eye socket. Wow. That is. I just don't know what to say. I have the x-ray here of the guy who he took the crowbar right through his eye socket and lived. I mean, that dude has a story to tell for the rest of his life. How he survived having a metal pole go through his eye. That dude should get free meals for the rest of his life. Insane. He crashed his motorcycle in China. It took 8 hours to move from his eye. He crashed through a construction zone. The story here. It took firefighters 4 hours to free him. That is insane. And the most insane part of the story, the eye isn't damaged. He's gonna have full vision back. Wow, the dude deserves an award for surviving that. He deserves an award. Here's the story right now. He should never ever ever have to pay for another meal in his life. No. Hey, he goes to a restaurant, I will stand up and give him a standing ovation. You survived that and no eye damage? Well done, sir. Anyway, folks, we're done. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll be back in Edmonton next week with more to come on the program. My name is Avery, and I am gone. Later.